Hey everybody, hope we're having a wonderful Tuesday and hopefully you've been able to get out there and enjoy some of that nicer weather if you're in parts of the country that have seen it today. But unfortunately, today we're really kind of beginning that pattern change to more of a cloudy and damp pattern over the next week or so, and we're definitely going to discuss that in today's video. We're also going to discuss a bit of a change in the guidance going into extremely early next week and into later this weekend, where kind of yesterday looked like we might have a chance of some severe weather into the southeast. Now it looks more of like a flooding threat potentially compared to severe weather, and I'll discuss why that is in today's video. We're also going to discuss some severe weather potential tomorrow into sections of Texas and Florida, so definitely make sure you're sticking around for that part of the video as well. But with all that said, let's go ahead and get into your forecast. So we'll start here with radar, and it's got a pretty active picture right now. We've got three kind of distinct areas of unsettled weather. One up here into the northeast and midwest where we're seeing some scattered showers this afternoon. Another area down here into Florida where we're seeing potentially some stronger storms, some thunderstorms definitely in that area of the country. And then just a lot of rain and snow down here into the south central plains and the southern Rockies, especially back out towards the Rockies here in Colorado, getting absolutely dumped on with snow today, as well as going into tonight. So a lot of snow for those communities up there into the higher elevations. So taking a look at satellite right now, we do have some clearing kind of here in the east, especially through much of Kentucky and Tennessee. We've had a pretty nice Tuesday, but unfortunately here in the Carolinas, the clouds have really begun to kind of take over. And honestly, I didn't even really expect it to be this cloudy today in the Carolinas, and we've even seen a little bit of rain potentially in parts of the Carolinas, which did kind of catch me off guard a little bit. But it can't all be perfect in our forecasting, so I'll work on it. But anyway, this is going to be a pattern that really sticks around. So although this might be a little bit earlier than we expected, just go ahead and get used to it, because we're going to have multiple days of just this kind of cloudy, rainy conditions here in the southeast, and it's going to be something that really locks in, especially those cooler temperatures look to really lock in even going into next week. So we'll definitely watch out for that. So taking a look at those current hazards, overall pretty quiet. We do have some freeze warnings up here into sections of the Midwest where we will get pretty cold tonight. So definitely make sure you're protecting those crops if you have any planted in that region of the country going into tonight and into tomorrow morning. Now we're going to start the kind of forecasting part of this video here in the eastern half of the country, looking at the next 48 hours. Or so, and we're going to use one of our mesoscale models here to kind of break this down a little bit more and make that radar imagery a bit more defined. So we'll skip this ahead into tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. You'll notice we have kind of just really some unsettled weather here in the southern tier of the country, and tomorrow could be a pretty big time severe weather day back here towards the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as well as the Florida Peninsula. So watch those areas on this map here. And definitely make sure you're paying attention to some of the storms that you'll see going into tomorrow through those regions. But tomorrow morning, definitely make sure you're grabbing the umbrella here if you're in kind of this circled region on the map where we could have some scattered showers. And this kind of general corridor here from Charlotte back over towards Greenville, Spartanburg, Dalton, Georgia, Huntsville, Alabama, and Little Rock is going to be an area I think really sets up a pretty defined corridor of more concentrated rain over the next couple of days or so. And I think that'll definitely be a reoccurring theme. But as we get into tomorrow afternoon, going into about 3, 4 o'clock here, still some widespread rain here in the Carolinas. Also watching for some showers up here in the northeast to continue into tomorrow afternoon. But really watch the Florida Peninsula here. It's hard to tell here. I know it's a little zoomed out, but some of these little storms that pop up here through sections of Florida tomorrow could definitely become strong, so we'll watch out for that. But the other big area here is back towards the Dallas-Fort Worth region and surrounding areas of Texas tomorrow, where we could have some pretty big-time severe weather. And you'll notice as we bring this into tomorrow evening, we've got some pretty big storms here with likely very large hail, damaging winds, and even a couple tornadoes possible as well through that region. Now, as we get through tomorrow's kind of overnight hours, we're going to get this rain to continue through these regions of Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, much of Mississippi, and Alabama, before getting into early Thursday, that rain working again right back into sections of the Carolinas. Again, kind of this corridor I just talked about here from northern sections of Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, and then also a lot of rain likely Thursday morning from those leftover storms moving through Arkansas and Louisiana. Now, as far out as this map goes is into Thursday afternoon, and you can see we could have another severe weather day Thursday afternoon with this kind of line of storms down here along the Gulf Coast, so we'll definitely watch that. But Thursday, again, just looks like a really cloudy, damp day in the southeast for many of us. So either way, not really kind of a picture-perfect Thursday by any stretch of the imagination. So going a bit more zoomed in on those severe weather targets tomorrow, again, down here into Florida is one area, and then kind of the bigger area is going to be right over the Dallas-Fort Worth area and surrounding regions with that chance of some of those stronger storms tomorrow afternoon. Now bringing this into day 3 or into Thursday, again watching the Gulf Coast here from kind of New Orleans back over towards Pensacola and up towards Birmingham and Jackson for some of those stronger storms, as that'll likely be a squall line that moves on through during the early morning hours and into the afternoon of Thursday. Now the other big time story is the rainfall, and I will tell you this is really uptrended really within the past 24 hours in our models. So yesterday we were talking 1 to 3 inches of rain being pretty likely. I think now we're looking really more at a 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inches of rain being likely, especially here through the kind of Blue Ridge escarpment here, especially into the southern Smokies, right along the I-85 corridor into upstate South Carolina. So places like Transylvania County, the mountains of Oconee, Pickens, Greenville County really could get a lot of rain out of this as we get some of the southerly flow to kind of back up against the Appalachian chain here throughout the rest of this week. And also back over Oklahoma, a lot of rain still to come through those regions, and really anywhere in between is going to see rain, although it will definitely vary region by region. So kind of bringing this ahead now, after we get through kind of Thursday, let me bring this map back to Thursday afternoon. So this is Thursday afternoon you're currently looking at here on the pressure map, and you'll notice there's low pressure here moving through, and that's going to help to cause that severe weather on Thursday. But as we get into Friday, you'll notice we'll have that low pressure kind of move on through, but then we're going to get another area of low pressure to develop this weekend. And this is what could really bring a lot of that rain, where this is what the models have really been hinting on, while yesterday we were looking at kind of just the potential of, you know, this low pressure with a big time cold front potentially bringing severe weather. Now we kind of have 2 distinct areas of low pressure. So what this does is it does help to bring the severe weather threat down here in the mid-Atlantic, but it really brings up that flooding threat, as we could get a lot of rain overnight Sunday and into Monday through these regions. And that's why that map that we just looked at in terms of rainfall from now to Sunday night has really gone up in totals, is the models picking up on this potential of some low pressure working into the forecast going into later this weekend. So moving this ahead, I'll show you the Euro model here. Again, this is that severe weather going into Thursday here on the map here throughout the Gulf Coast. And then as we move this ahead into the weekend, this is kind of going into Friday, a lot of rain again here into the southeast and mid-Atlantic. And then we'll likely get a bit of a break, I think, on Saturday afternoon. So this is Saturday afternoon. You'll notice it's a lot clearer here in the southeast. So Saturday might be the day to do things if you are going to plan anything this week. But once we get into kind of Sunday afternoon, still potentially okay, but definitely going into Sunday evening and overnight into Monday morning, we could have a lot of rain here along sections of the southeastern coastline and through much of Florida, the Carolinas, and even up into Virginia. So we'll definitely have to watch exactly where this low pressure forms. If it forms off the coast, we could get a lot less rain. If it forms back here near the Gulf of Mexico, then kind of rides through, then we're going to get a lot of rain. So we'll definitely just have to watch the trends in the models. Right now, either solution is possible, but it definitely looks more wet and less severe on Sunday in the southeast. Of course, the other big story is those temperatures in the next 6 to 10 days. The high likelihood of below average temperatures just about everywhere east of the Rockies here, especially bullseyed right here over the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys, having the highest probability of those below average temperatures in that 6 to 10 day period. Now on the bright side is we do look to dry out in that time frame. So after we have this kind of rainy Sunday, Monday kind of mess, we do look to clear out for much of the kind of east central part of the country going into next week. So that is some good news, even though it will be cooler. It at least looks to be pretty dry for next work week. So with all that said, again, we have seen some changes in the forecast today. We'll definitely watch those trends over the next couple of days, but just be ready for a pretty wet second half of the weekend. And again, if you kind of plan anything this week, try to do it on Saturday, because I think Saturday really looks the nicest as a whole, at least here through much of the eastern half of the country. But with all that said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.